Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Saturday. Um, I decided to make this week's this week's video, more of a vlog style. So what I'm gonna have is you guys are gonna spend the day with me. Um, Once again, it's Saturday. Normally my Saturdays are run club. If I'm not working, then we go for breakfast afterwards. If I am working that day, then I normally have run club, shower, go to work. Um, so today, what we're gonna do is you guys are gonna come with me to run club, one of my favorite things to do on the weekend. More than likely, we're gonna go for breakfast afterwards, so I'm gonna capture a little bit of that. Then I'm gonna come home, shower, get dressed, and then I'm gonna take my mom out for coffee. She leaves today. She was in town this week. Um, she and I were actually in Bimini together on vacation, which I'm going to show you guys a little bit of how that trip went. Um, she decided to spend a few days in Nassau with me, and then she leaves to go back to Freeport today. So I'm going to take her for coffee. We're going to hang out a bit before I drop her to the airport. Um, yeah, I have a cup of coffee that I'm trying to finish before I go to run. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be interesting. And I'm kinda excited for it. I feel good. I feel I feel really good. So I I got up this morning, took a quick shower. Um, I did a page for my morning pages. I did like one. Um, I did like one page, and now I'm gonna read the basic principles that they tell you to read every day for week two. So for week two is like a little bit different um, in the book. You're supposed to um, start off with your morning pages and then read the basic principles for creativity. And I'll read them now because I don't think I did in the first vlog. So I'll read them now for you. It's 10 of them. The first one is creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. Second one is there is an underlying indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. The third one is when we open ourselves to creativity, to our creativity, we open ourselves to the creator's creativity within us and our lives. I feel like that one is the most important one to me. Well, one of, but I'll continue reading them. We, the fourth one is we are ourselves creations, and when are meant we in turn are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Five is creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. That's not really the first time I heard that. I feel like I've heard that several times before. The sixth principle is the refusal to be creative is self-will, and is counter to our true nature. Principle seven is when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God, good, orderly direction. Principle number eight is as we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle, though powerful changes are to be expected. Nine is it is safe to be open ourselves. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. Number 10 is our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move toward our dreams, we move toward our divinity. So yeah, um, not too much to say about that. I feel like that's pretty straightforward, but the whole um, point is to read it every morning to kind of like program yourself. You're supposed to read it morning and night. I have not been that consistent with it. I've been reading it like every morning and then forgetting to read it at night. So I ain't gonna lie. To keep up with the with the what you're supposed to be doing with this book is kind of difficult for someone who has stuff to do, like the average adult. It's really hard to be consistent with this. But week two was a lot better than week one. Week two, I think the only thing that held me back from completing everything in week two is because I was on vacation for about, I think that was like a Thursday to a Tuesday. So I didn't really get to be as consistent. I think the only thing I was really consistent with um, on vacation was my morning pages. I did a few of the exercises while um, I was on vacation, but I didn't really get to be as consistent as I wanted to. So it's gonna be a few more days. I'm not gonna do the recap today, but by the end of this vlog, we will record a recap of week two. So y'all bear with me. Just like y'all, I got stuff to do. I got work. I got gym. I got family. I got stuff to do. So I didn't really get to um, do it in a week, but it definitely didn't take me a month to do week two this time. So yeah, so we have a pretty full day today. I am gonna try to. This is my first time vlogging a day, so I am going to try to take you guys with me. Y'all will be following me today. Um, and yeah, this is pretty new for me. I mean, I kind of like I always record stuff on my story, but I don't really record it in like in a vlog style. Like I've never done a whole like day in the life vlog. Probably the closest thing I've ever done is like a reel or a TikTok or something like that. But um, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm kind of excited for it. I feel good. I feel I feel really good. I'm excited for my run. I didn't get to run while I was on vacation. I don't know. As much as I like to work out, I as much as I would like to work out, I'm sure people would be surprised to know that it's kind of a struggle for me to work out while I'm on vacation. Like I'll work out on vacation, but not often. Like some people will work out like every day of their vacation to make sure they don't fall off and all that different stuff. I'll work out I'll work out 2 days on vacation. I'll work out 2 days on a week long vacation. And then after a while, I'm like, listen, when I get back home, I'll worry about all of that. Like right now, I just having fun. So that's kind of where I was at. Anybody who's, well, for those of you who don't know, I went to Bimini for homecoming. And anybody who knows about Bimini for homecoming knows that you outside and you outside all weekend.
Club, another club, plane, next place, no sleep, no fear.
No sleep. Party, next party, wake up, breakfast, next party. It's nonstop. So yeah, I right now I'm gonna finish my coffee. Um, I am gonna do my run. I hope my endurance is there because, like I said, I didn't really work out like that this week. So I hope I'm able to run a good 5 miles and get a good sweat in and burn some calories. I hope I don't have to stop and walk. I hope I can just get it done. Um, I'll feel really good about myself. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start off my run with some gospel, and then I'll probably switch to one of my playlists maybe like halfway through because it's normally like an hour. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then we are going to head to Run Club. Okay, so just finished my run. I definitely did not do 5 miles. I did three. Um, I stopped to walk maybe like I stopped to walk like 2 times throughout the run, and I walked like the last, I would say, like minute or two, like almost like a cool down at the end. I think my body's still like in recovery mode after vacation. So like I said, I worked out like once on vacation, and then I did like two workouts this week. I did a chest workout on Wednesday, chest, triceps, shoulders with some cardio, and then on Friday, no, was it Friday? No, and then on Thursday, I did back, biceps, abs, cardio, and then today, of course, is the run. So I don't think I really got back in my rhythm yet. So yeah, still pretty good. I got a good sweat. I sweat a lot. Now, a lot of the group didn't come today because UB Fit is going on this today as well. So a lot of the people from the run club were at that. So we had kind of like a small turnout. A few of us are going to breakfast. So I'm gonna go to breakfast, carb up, um, have a cup of coffee, or maybe not, because I'm going out for coffee later. Anyway, I'll figure that out. And then I'm gonna go to the gym and get some leg, like a short leg workout in from there. So yeah, so that's the start of the day. It's pretty beautiful out today. Like I love my favorite thing about Run Club is catching the sunrise. I love sunrise. I love sunset. I love the sun. Period. Like I love outdoors. It's I feel like the older I get, the more I appreciate it. Um, yeah. So all right. All right. So I, as you saw, we kind of did everything that we were supposed to do today. Um, ran. I went to breakfast. I worked out. And to be honest, that's my first time working out after my run, especially doing legs. That's the first time I've ever worked out without weights on a leg day. I normally work out with weights, but when I tell you, like my legs was tingling, they were cooked. Like it was no way. It wasn't happening. It was not happening. I wasn't about to make like try to make fetch happen. It is what it is. Um, but it was good. I'm glad I pushed myself. I got a leg workout in. Um, so I pretty much worked out every body part this week, even though I only went 3 days to the gym. So that's fine. Right now, I'm gonna give my beard a little shape up because I didn't get a haircut this week. I wanted to skip this week and give my hair a break. But I'm still gonna like trim my beard and stuff like that because I still feel like a little scruffy and around my neck and whatnot. And then after that, we'll head for my mom. And yeah. Listen to me when I tell you this fit cut cut my trying to come up with something. This when I tell you this fit worked me so hard. This fit worked me hard to ultimately come to this. Yeah, so this quick outfit of the day. Um just a tank top, some shorts, and um some plain white tennis, gold jewelry. I was gonna wear like a plain white t-shirt, but I changed my mind. I'm wondering if I should tuck this in because I've been into like tucking my shirts in recently. I'm wondering if I should tuck the shirt in or just leave it as it is. Um, Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I think I like it in. I think I like it in. I think that's I think that's what we're going with. No, I think I'll. Let me see. I don't know. I feel like either could work. I'll leave it out. I leave it out. I've been talking to my shirts a lot recently. I think today I'll leave it out. I think that's the vibe we're going with. We're gonna do some black shades. Yes. Yeah. I don't think this fit the vibe of today though. Like I only go into a coffee shop, but I feel like this looked like pool party or something. Anyway, let's go. Okay, mommy, say hi to my vlog.
I love
Tell them how you enjoyed your trip.
my trip was awesome.
You gotta talk louder, mommy.
My trip was awesome. It's still awesome. It isn't over yet. From Germany to Nassau, it was beautiful. Loved it.
1 week later.
Okay, so how's about I did a whole maybe 15 minutes of recording just now, and my mind told me, I was like, let me look at this, let me watch this back before I continue. Couldn't hear me. Microphone wasn't plugged in. Anyway, so week two. Week two was pretty. Week two was interesting. Um, Week two was interesting in my opinion. I didn't really get the point of it, and I vaguely remember watching Dochi's recap when she did the book for the first time, and I remember like one of her videos in particular, and my mind told me, I was like, let me go back and look at that. When I look at that, I was like, this is the same week when she was really frustrated and she basically hated the process because week two is like, it feels so pointless, but when I tell you I did it to the best of my abilities, like it felt dumb. Like it really felt like it served no purpose. But I was like, anyway, let me just do it. Week two. One of the things was, oh, by the way, right now we are at Island House. We are at Island House at Yellow Bell. I have with me now a.
But do you really know? Did you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
Sidecar, a whiskey sidecar that is really good, by the way. Really enjoy it. I saw you put egg white in it. I don't know whiskey sidecars to have egg whites because I normally make them myself. But he put it in, and This is really good, by the way. But okay, here we go. So task 1 in week 2 is affirmative reading. Every day, morning and night, get quiet and focused and read the basic principles to yourself. I stated what the basic principles were like earlier in the video. The one that stuck out to me, it says here to record. It says write down the one that's most important, that stuck out to you. And then also it says, can you see yourself setting aside any skepticism yet? I was like, whatever. Like, I was just irritated because I felt like she was just making up stuff at this point.
I don't know what the fuck is talking about this week. What the fuck are you talking about? First,
but principle 3 is, one second. Principle 3 is, when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. I believe that. I believe that when you create, it kind of connects you to God in a way that's kind of unexplainable. I do feel a sense of fulfillment. I feel alive. I just feel good when I'm a part of a bigger project. Like, I've shot a few commercials in maybe the last like 3 years. Because for those of you who don't know, I do model. That's one of my jobs. And whenever I'm like shooting a commercial, or like I'm a part of a bigger project and I'm collaborating with a team, it always gives me a sense of fulfillment. And when I'm creating something and it inspires people and people like it and whatnot, like I always feel like it feels like that's when I feel the closest to God, and that's when I feel the most connected to the higher powers, when I'm a part of stuff like that. So I do believe that principle wholeheartedly. I'm gonna try to get through these a little bit quicker because I do realize that the last video was 30 minutes and we do have a vlog at the beginning of this, so I'm gonna try to get through this a little bit quicker. Y'all can let me know if y'all prefer just, skimming over the stuff, or actually, it's really hot, by the way. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought to record outside, but here we are. It is what it is. Y'all can let me know if y'all prefer lengthy videos going in detail, or if you want me to keep it as brief as possible and just skim over the topics. Activity 2. Where does your time go? List your 5 major activities this week. How much time did you give each one? Which were what you wanted to do and which were stuff that you should do? How much of your time is spent helping others and ignoring your own desires? Have any of your blocked friends triggered doubts in you? Draw a circle below. Inside the circle, place topics you need to protect. Place the names of those you find to be supportive. Outside of the circle, place the names of those you must be self-protective around just now. Use this map to support your autonomy. I did this, but I do feel like I do a good job at this already. I do feel like at times we can tend to get upset when we're not being supported by our friends and our peers and stuff like that. But I do think that we have control over that. I do feel like that's something that we have control over. Like, you have to know where to place people. You have to know what category to place them in. You have to know what purpose they serve in your life. Just because you go out with people or you party with people doesn't necessarily mean that those are people that you should share your dreams and your goals with. Your tribe or your biggest supporters may be people who you're not really as close with, or people that you least expect. Maybe it is someone that you party with and you go out with and you just never thought to expose yourself in that way and let them know things that you have going on and whatnot. And you may find that those are the people you least expect may be the ones that um, you know, have your best interest at heart when it comes to your goals and your dreams and stuff that you're interested in. But I did the activity. I messed it up because I didn't put the topics inside the circle. I just put the people in the circle and then the people outside the circle that I should um, keep out of it, whatever. But that was that. Task 3 was list 20 things you enjoy doing. And then it says to basically use that as a guide for your next artist date. A few of the things that I enjoy doing, a lot of people may not know, I love dancing, I love singing, whether it's like unserious dancing or like dancing seriously. I love to dance. Like, as you all know, I have stated that before. I love dancing, I love singing, I love acting, I love swimming in the ocean, I love swimming in the pool, I love running, I love a good day drink. Hello. So we're doing right now. I love the sun. I love the color yellow. I love cooking. I love getting dressed, like getting dressed up, and putting outfits together and stuff like that. I love going for coffee. I love just being at home watching old, like early 2000s music videos and stuff like that. So yeah, as I would have said before, I was on vacation last week, and that's what kind of took me a while to get this, to sit down and do this recap so that I could put this vlog together. But while I was on vacation, I had like several artist dates. Um, the one that I felt was the easiest to do was swimming in the ocean in the pool. I kid you not, because I don't have a pool in my backyard or a although I'm not like that close to the beach. I'm close to the beach, but I'm not that close for in Bahamian terms, like what we would consider being close to the beach. I can't just walk out of my apartment and walk across the street to the beach. So while I was on vacation and I had a pool in the back of the house, every morning, like clockwork, I took advantage of just. I would say I had several artist dates because I just took advantage of having that pool in the backyard, and I would wake up, have a cup of coffee, do my morning pages, and throw on some trunks, jump straight in the pool, and that would be the start of my day. At least 3 days of the 4 day vacation, I did that, and that was really good. I love the sun. It was a lot of sun out while I was on vacation, so I felt like that was my artist day, and that was my time to just bask in that and enjoy it and be as present as possible. Um, and yeah, just try to take advantage of something that I can't really do all the time. The next one says the next activity is from the preceding list. Write down 2 favorite things that you've avoided that could be this week's goals. These goals can be small. Then it says stop looking for big blocks of time when you will be free. Find small bits of time instead. Kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Um, like you don't really need a lot of time to do the things that you enjoy. If there's something that you enjoy doing, um, and you have like a little bit of time, like most of the times when I went in the pool, it was like I had like maybe like a 1 hour, 2 hour window where um, we didn't really have a plan or we weren't really doing anything. And I said, you know what? Let me just take advantage of this and let me just jump in the pool. But I plan to carry that on throughout the rest of my life, to be honest. That was something that really stuck out to me. Yeah, so that was that. Task 4. Um, Another part of task 4 was it said deep back into week 1 and read the affirmations. Note which one caused the most reaction. Often the one that sounds the most ridiculous is the most significant. Write 3 chosen affirmations 5 times each day after your morning pages. Be sure to include affirmations you made yourself from your blurts. When I tell you, I don't know what I was doing the first time I read this, but I did not do this. Like, I think I read them 5 times one morning, but it says each day after your morning pages. I did not do that. Um, Moving on. Number 5. Return to the list of imaginary lives from last week. List 5 more lives below. Now write down plans for doing bits and pieces of those lives the one that you're in the one that you're living right now. If you have listed a dancer's life, do you let yourself go dancing? If you have listed monk's life, are you ever allowed to go on a retreat? Blah blah blah, whatever. I put content creator and choreographer. I have not done anything related to content creation. I mean, I have not done anything related to um, choreographing, but I feel like I have taken on the persona of a content creator because I am taking it a lot more seriously now. And um, yeah, so I feel like just every day, just editing videos, coming out the house, sitting in public, talking into a camera, into a microphone, um, just stuff like that. Trying to be more consistent. That I feel like I'm kind of putting bits and pieces of it into my everyday life, and slowly getting more comfortable with it. So, um, amen to that. Next one says, draw a circle below, divide into 6 pieces of pie. Label one piece spirituality, another exercise, another play, and so on. Work, friends, romance, adventure. Place a dot inside. Place a dot in each slice at the degree to which you feel like you're being fulfilled in that area. So I did that, and I realized that um, I'm not going to go into detail, but I do feel like in some areas that I'm not really being fulfilled in, and I don't take the time to prioritize changing what should be changed or adding into that area that would make me more fulfilled in that area. Um, I feel like with spirituality, I am kind of like still working on that. There was a point where I was very spiritual, but it was to the point that it was kind of scary because I felt like things were being revealed to me that um, it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like, it was, I always go back to the saying where they say, God didn't give us a third eye for a reason. I saw that somewhere. Someone said, God didn't give us a third eye for a reason. And it's because we don't need to see everything. I say that to say, when I did get very deep into my spirituality, it did become it was cool at first. It was like, I was seeing certain things that I wouldn't normally pay attention to and whatnot, and then eventually it just became a scary thing where it's like I didn't even want to see the things that were being revealed to me anymore. So um I but I do want to tap back into that spirituality, whereas I am more conscious, I am more aware. I feel like I am now, but I feel like um, it's a lot more that I could be doing. So the simple thing for me is that I have, well, okay, what it says after that, it says to wherever you feel that you're lacking, you're supposed to do things that's gonna, I guess, bring the level a little bit higher, whereas you don't feel depleted in that area. So for me, I've started to listen to sermons a lot more. At one point, I used to listen to sermons every morning. Now I only listen to sermons on Sundays. I used to listen to gospel a lot more than I listen to secular music. Now I only listen to gospel every now and then. Well, not now, but um, it isn't as much as it was before. So um, that's just an example of one of the areas that I did not feel fulfilled in. And I've started to make it a goal this week to just do things that's gonna fill my cup in those areas. And I've noticed that when I do that, I am able to show up better in life, and I am able to be a lot more whole and a lot more present. So yeah. Another thing was tiny changes. List 10 things that you would like to make. List 10 changes you would like to make for yourself, from the significant to the small, or vice versa. For an example, they have get new sheets if you want new sheets. If you want to go to China, start planning towards the trip. There's a few things that I had down. I'll share. Let's see. I'll try to share like three of them. And I don't want you to think that like I'm being like closed off when I'm saying that I'm not sharing everything, but I feel like certain things you have to keep to yourself. And in order for you to properly heal and progress and get the full advantage of it, you can't be too exposed. That's just my opinion. I don't believe in sharing everything with everybody, but I do believe that we all have certain commonalities, and we all have certain things in common that um, when we do express some stuff, there's a certain it's a certain level of okay, someone else going through this, someone else experiencing these same things that I'm experiencing. So I'm not alone or whatever. So yeah, I say that to say. But three things, that I realized that I would like to do. I would like to go back to working out 5 to 6 days a week consistently. I was doing that a lot during the Christmas, and I feel like during the Christmas, during like the December season, I did it a lot because I do model. So it's a lot of like you find yourself in on jobs where you have to take your shirt off, you have to be in shape, you have to like stuff like that. So I knew that during the Christmas, like it was gonna be a lot of um parties. You have going back to see families, a lot of cooking and a lot of eating and stuff like that. So I just knew that I had to work out a lot in order to offset that. So I did it a lot during the Christmas, and I did like where I was headed. But I feel like around January or so, I started to start to make excuses for myself and whatnot. So now it's just like trying to find a balance. So 5 to 6 days a week consistently, that's what I want to do. I would like to be less anxious. We can get into that. Um, I would also like to be more proactive instead of reactive. So, in order to be more proactive, what I've began doing is I started to do a to-do list every day. Like plan on Monday what it is that I want to do for the week, and then I have a to-do list and I go by that. Sometimes I don't get everything done in that day, but it's a guideline for me to go by instead of things coming up and then trying to fix it. It's more getting a hold on it ahead of time. Lastly, being less anxious. I've realized that this is a another thing that I had to was less scroll time, like scrolling on TikTok and Instagram less. Um, I've realized that scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and also being less anxious, that's gonna be like a journey. Um, I have be I have gotten less anxious to a certain extent. There are certain things that I started to put in place. I actually went to Chat GPT and it gave me some tips. One of them was to like breathing techniques. Believe it or not, that worked a lot. I also do when I'm at work, I drink a lot of coffee. So I'll drink like maybe 2 cups of coffee minimum. But this week I tried to limit it to maybe one, especially if it's a morning when I didn't go to the gym that morning. So I didn't get a chance to work off my first cup of coffee. So I'm now trying to just have one. Like it's not necessary. I realized that it isn't even that I need coffee every morning. It's kind of just habitual. Like it's just a habit. Like I just go into work. The first thing I do is make a cup of coffee, sit to my desk, start my work. So, and then around like 10, 11, I go back and I make a second cup. So I realized that it isn't really that I need it because I can function without it, but you just feel as though you need it for some reason and you really don't. So that has played a lot with my anxiety. Um, another thing that has also, another thing that I noticed too was while I was on vacation, this time in particular, and I was very conscious of it, and I kind of grabbed a hold of it prior to even going on my trip. I realized that whenever I'm going on vacation or I'm going somewhere to relax, it's almost like my mind isn't there yet. Or I feel as though, I don't know. And comment below, let me know if this happens to anyone else. But um, this has been my reality. Back in December, um, I went on a trip for my birthday. I my close friends were there, and then I brought my mom with me too. She had time off. That was that. And I noticed like the whole time that I was on vacation, it was like my mind just was racing. Like I just kept thinking about all type of stuff. Like you just start to think about what can go wrong, or what like you just start to think like what can go wrong, or like what could happen to, even if you're having a, I it's so hard to explain. Even if you're having a really good time, you still think to yourself like, well, what's gonna happen? What's next? Like something's gonna happen to, like it's gonna be a big boom at some point. And being someone who has experienced loss, like I've experienced a lot of loss, um, people, people and things and opportunities. Like I've taken many L's in my life, and I think that just like I said in the last episode with the hurricanes, it kind of puts you in the mentality that whenever things are going good, something can come along that can make things bad. And in all honesty, that is life. That is life. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna knock us off course. Once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna knock us off course, but that doesn't mean that we have to live in fear. That doesn't mean that we have to consistently look out for the next bad thing. I remember JT said something before in an interview with Angie Martinez where she was like, things are good now. Things are good now. I'm going to focus on things being good now. If something bad is going to happen at some point, like I'll worry about it when it happens. But it's unfair to me to just, live life worrying about what's going to happen next. And I feel like that has happened to me a lot, especially when I'm in a relaxing environment. I'm trying to enjoy myself, such as a vacation or something like that. I start worrying, sometimes about nothing. Sometimes I can't even pinpoint what it is that I'm worrying about, but I'm worrying. And it's like, it robs you, it strips you of the moment, because for me, I work really, really hard. I work really hard. And for me, I have 3 days, 4 days to relax and be with my family on, a trip that my cousin planned for us all. And you're just out of the, like, you, you're kind of like thinking, like, just that things could just go terribly wrong at any moment. And I say that to say I was very conscious of that And I was like, why am I worried? Like, I'm worried about something. I don't know what I'm worried about, but I'm worried. And it clicked to me. And me and a friend of mine, we kind of use this term a lot. And it came to me again. And I feel like this is going to be my motto for the rest of the year, maybe the rest of my life. Don't let your mind trick you out of your spot. And that's with everything. That's with everything. That's with when you on vacation and you worrying about work, you worrying about what you got to do when you get back, you worrying about finances, you worrying about opportunities, you worrying about planning for the future and all that different stuff. Don't let your mind trick you out your spot. When you at when you had an opportunity that you fought for and you have that thing in the back of your mind that's telling you that you're not good enough, or you walk into a room and you feel like you're not good enough and you feel like you don't compare and whatnot, and you have that thing in your mind that's trying to convince you that that is trying to basically break you down. Like, listen, sometimes you gotta tell that voice shut up. You gotta tell that voice shut up. And that's when your ego gotta clock in and just be like, I'm here because um God put me here. God put me in this position. God brought me here, and he wouldn't have me here if this wasn't for me. He wouldn't lead me in this direction if it wasn't for me. This opportunity wouldn't come to me if it wasn't for me. So why am I ruining this opportunity, ruining this moment, thinking about other stuff? So that has been my thing, and that has been my thing with like being less anxious and just controlling that side of me, is just reminding myself that not everything that your mind tells you is true. Like, even the Bible speaks on holding every thought captive. You have to do that, because otherwise you'll be freaking out all the time. You will never have peace, and you will just constantly go throughout your life always worrying. And worrying don't solve nothing. Anyway, that was that. But even though week 2 felt pointless to me, I will say that was my biggest takeaway from week 2, and that is a practice that I will carry on for the rest of my life, is to not let your mind trick you out of your spot. It's so easy to let that happen. And I feel like you just can't do that. Like, life too short for that. Life too short to be constantly worrying and constantly in doubt and constantly not being present. Like, we at an age now, like, you know, your parents getting older, life is constantly moving. The years are going by. 2020 was 5 years ago. And that's hard to believe sometimes, but it's the truth. So we we just can't allow our minds to have us waste any time, or to stifle us or cripple us or anything. Like, we have to find ways to move beyond it, and we have to find ways to fight through it, because we really don't have time. Like, there's really no other way to put it. But I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for this. I'm fine with where I ended right there. I feel like that's a good note to end it on. And I feel like that's a good message to end it on. So I feel like that's where we're gonna stop. Week 3, I'll give you guys like a brief I'll give you guys, because the only thing after this is basically the check-in, and the check-in is basically the same things as last week. Like, how many days did you do your morning pages and whatnot. For someone who was on vacation, I feel like I did my morning pages a lot. I did my morning pages maybe two or three mornings. I didn't do 3 pages every day. Some days I did one, some days I did three. And that was that. But yeah. What else can I say? I have to say, I am so grateful for everybody who reached out after after my first video that I did. If you only know how nervous I was posting that, because I do not speak on camera. I do not speak to a camera. Like, I've never done that. If you know me, I just post my pictures. I go post my workout videos. I don't really go into detail or anything like that. Like, this is a whole, like, y'all don't understand how uncomfortable this is for me. So when I saw the feedback and the messages from people who were saying that they enjoyed it, they were inspired, um, just a lot of people who reached out, I did not expect it. I think I got like 7 subscribers now and like 75 views. That may seem like a little bit to some people, but like I saw someone say before, imagine you have like a party or you have like an event and 75 people show up. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who took their time out to and then also it was so many of you, not so many, but it was a few people who told me that they watched it beginning to end and that they really enjoyed it. And that meant so much to me because my main thing was the length. The first video was actually supposed to be a Instagram reel, and it was supposed to be Instagram reel slash TikTok. And when I realized how long it was becoming, I was like, I have to make a YouTube channel. There's no way around it. It's either that or I'll have to split it up in parts, which isn't happening. So whatever. But just seeing so many people actually take the time to tune in and then also give me feedback, and people who are actually excited for this journey and just feel like good to witness it. It really meant a lot to me, and I am so grateful for that. I am so thankful for that. I do not take it for granted. People, like, time is a serious thing, and people will spend money, but it's where they put their time is what matters the most. And if people take the time out to sit down and watch a 30-minute video of me in front of a camera talking, that means a lot to me, and I do not take it for granted at all. So yeah, that seeing those comments and seeing the feedback basically gave me the the courage and just the energy to keep moving forward. So yeah, we are going to end there. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my own company for maybe about a half hour more, and then gonna go home, rest, and probably gonna spend the whole day tomorrow just editing and chopping this up and making it make sense. And yeah, I thank you all for watching. I thank you all who um, decided to sit down and have a drink with me while we go through week 2 of the artist way. Dochi, when you was frustrated, I fully understand. I felt like week 2 was stupid.
So, week 2, Julia in this mother got on my nerves. This week 2, I made some very interesting.
We'll see how week 3 is. Week 3 is recovering a sense of power. So we'll see how that goes.